Well, the first thing that I observed is that students were working well in groups together. They were all participating. Most of them were on task. And when they were not on task, you redirected them quite well.
Thank you.
Oh, tell me a little bit about the different teaching methods that you were using.
Okay, I use a lot of technology. So I use my smart board. Well, it's a Mimeo, but turns my board into like a smart board. The classroom computers, laptop computers, iPads, iTouches, projector, Elmo. There's a lot of that. And then I also, when necessary, use other hand tools and manipulatives. We used clocks, little handheld clocks for some of the kiddos who need it. I also, of course, use practice sheets, teacher modeling examples in front of the classroom, lessons through the smart board that the kiddos can come up and do. And so I try and touch a lot of it.
A lot of different.
As many methods as I can.
Okay. And I noticed that when you did your assessment, that it was just like any other assignment. The kids knew exactly where they were going, what they were doing. They knew to get their folders to put those up, and so it was just like any other lesson.
Pretty much.
Okay.
There's-
That's how most of your assessments go. They
Yes.
flow right in through.
Pretty much. I try not to make it any more stressful than it has to be, because the kids, a lot of them have issues with, anxiety and things
Right.
testing. So we try and keep it as simple as possible. And they know, okay, well, got to get out my folder, we put up my little space, and
And it's
it's
okay.
time to
take the test.
Take my test.
And for your the documentation of all your stuff, you keep that all on the computer, or do you do it in a grade book?
I keep it, well, my grade book is on a computer. My grade book is on the computer, and it's online actually through Teacher Ease. And then I also have checklists where I keep track of scores that I need to for my kiddos, map scores, test scores, keep track of assignments that they've turned in or haven't turned in, that kind of thing. So I have it both, I guess you could say, paper
Both
and
in-
computer.
Cool. I need to learn how to do that. I did notice that you were continuously giving feedback to your kids, the positive and constructive criticism. So if they're doing great, I saw you several times, oh, good job. And that leads into classroom discipline. There seems to be great discipline in this classroom, even with the couple that are.
Even with my handfuls,
With the-
I try and use table points for their tables. They can earn table points. They can lose table points. The table points count for at the end of every day. The students who have the most points, their table gets stickers. Everybody at the table gets a sticker, and then at the end of the month, the tables that had the most points get to have pizza for lunch with me, and so they have a reward for that. It's not just about having the most points, it's about having something that comes with having the
Comes
most
with the
points. But on top of that, also, I always insist on hand raising. If they come up to me, I redirect them, go back to your seat, raise your hand, please. I do a lot of thank yous. If a student does sit and raise their hand, then it's, thank you for raising
you
your
for raising.
hand. Thank you for being patient. When I give points to the tables, I always make sure to tell them why I'm giving them a point. Thank you for waiting patiently. Thank you for being where you should be. Thank you for having your things ready. That kind of thing. So it's a lot of feedback.
Well, they seem to have their class routine down. They know that they're supposed to raise their hand, even if they don't. I see that they know that they're supposed to. I saw that they have their line leader, door holder responsibilities. They know exactly what they're supposed to do. I noticed that when you had them in groups, that you had some kids in the hall working on different things. They knew exactly what to do when they came in the door, so they get their stuff away and come and sit down and got right to work.
Exactly.
So,
And we start that routine at the beginning of the year. They know the routine, they know how each piece works, and when it's time for them to do that, they know exactly where to go, what to do, how to get what they need, and get the job done. And they, and they all have jobs other than even, our centers and our stations work. They also all have jobs that change throughout. Once a week, they all get a new job. So at the end of the day, in fact, they all know what they're supposed to do too. I have kiddos who are cleaning the floor, kiddos who are putting together my shelf, kiddos who are sharpening
Yes.
pencils.
I saw the one sharpening pencils today. Yes. And he knew that was his job, so he
That's
came
what
back
it
to do
is.
it. And I guess the last thing we'll talk about is competency 9, working with colleagues, parents, community members. I know you're part of team leaders.
I'm a team leader for my team.
And and you work as a team.
And we do work as a team, which is impressive.
It is very
I love my
impressive.
team. Because we do. We work as a team. When we get together, we always have something that we're talking about or working towards. We're a PDSA school, so we put together our for math. We have our framework, our PDSA framework for math. And we have one person in the team who's responsible every cycle for taking the materials and making any copies that need to be made, making sure that everybody has the materials that we need to teach the lessons. And then the following cycle, somebody else will take those materials and supply them for everybody else too. We also make sure that we work closely to make sure we're on the same units and weeks for a reading street. And we work together to create the assessments. We work together to make sure that the assignments are the same, assessments are the same. We check to see if our students are at the same levels or making the same progress as the other classrooms. Pretty much everything that we do is done
Is as a team.
As a team, we
Working
do
with
it
your
all together.
colleagues. And as for parents, I know you make positive phone calls. And we have a science and literacy night. So what do you guys split that one up? I know some teams do.
We split that one up. So within our team, 2 of us do the literacy night, 2 of us do math and science night. This year I'm going to be doing math and science night. But I make, the phone calls to parents. I also have, this year I've done Teacheries. So I communicate with my parents through Teacheries. I also have a classroom website, and my parents can communicate with me through the website. And I post information there that they need, monthly newsletters and things I pass out. I give a paper copy to all my students, but I also put a copy on the website so that parents can go back to that and see any
cool.
past news that they may have missed or a newsletter that was misplaced. I have videos on my website so that if a parent wants to know how I've taught a certain mathematical strategy, they can go to my website and they can view that video and find out how I taught this particular addition strategy or subtraction strategy that maybe they don't know. So I try and have as much communication
Right.
with parents as possible.
Yes, that's,
It's actually really good to have them on my side.
yes. And as far as community participation, I know you were the director, one of the directors for Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
And that production came out amazing.
Thanks. It was
amazing.
amazing. Thanks. I know. And help from you. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And working with the parents and community and Rio Grande Theater, and it was really, really great. And I think the kids had a lot of fun. So
I think they did too.
I think they had a great time.
Cool. So I think we're all done here.